Welcome back, everyone. To this episode here, I'm going to be installing the CORSA Performance oil catch can. It's part number CC0004, and this is going to take care of all the 2019 plus with the new body styles, 5th gen Rams with the 5.7 with or without the e-torque system. And the quick overview of this kit is it's going to be introduced into the current existing PCV system. And with that being said, on the passenger side over here, you have your PCV valve, which opens and closes based on your RPMs, and the crankcase gases come through this hose with oil into your intake manifold. And this is where it gets debatable. Some guys are saying, well, why would I need this? Essentially, with the catch can, you're gonna basically throw this inside of this line, and this filter here is gonna drop out the oil in your can, allowing only air to be entering your intake manifold. This is where you kind of get into the emission aspects of it. This was designed per the factory, so basically you can safely burn off the extra crankcase gases safely without harming the environment. But as well as this though, the oil is being caught in this can, and as long as you're emptying this can by unscrewing it every, say, 1,000 to 500 miles, you could actually screw it off, or there's actually a cap on the bottom you can unscrew it. And I've seen some guys basically have a hose here with a little on-off valve that they can just drain it like into a cup or something. But that's all I got. I'm going to show you what it looks like and the process for the install on this. And last thing before I start the install video is the location of where this will be mounted at. They're going to be utilizing the factory hardware here off this stud that holds on this cover. And there's a couple other brands that are currently making these. I know Mishimoto, there's one by Billet Aluminum or something, but each company has different mounting spots, and some of them utilize the actual radiator support. And then there's another company that comes down here right by this freeze plug here, and they're using this hole here. But like I was mentioning earlier, for draining aspects of this, it's going to be much easier to have this can right here and like accessible to actually drain that oil out when it needs to be drained. If this is something you guys want, we do have a discount code. It's currently on all our Instagram posts. But if you don't have Instagram or you don't follow us and you're just seeing this video, if you go to CORSA's website, make it all the way to the checkout and use our discount code so5thgen, with free shipping, shipped to your door. This part is right around 140 bucks. And the good news is we're actually giving one of these away. So the first person to comment on this video, screenshot it and message us on Instagram, you will receive a free kit for your 5th gen Ram. The exceptions to this are, it has to be the US 48 states, and you cannot be a California resident due to the potential for the emission hazards. But stay tuned. I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys how to install this. All right, so right here's the close-up with the cover removed. You can see where these two pieces slide in. So 2 bolts, lift, slide out, done, cover's off. All right, so right here's the close-up with the cover removed. You can see where these two pieces slide in. All right, so here's a better look at the PCV valve. For this kit install, we'll be removing this line right here, and we'll be taking it off on this other end over here. Now this right here is just a push fitting, so I recommend to go ahead and spray this with some kind of WD-40 mixture just to make this a little easier to pull out. And we'll go ahead and do that, and I'll show you what it looks like. So first thing I'm going to take off is this little tab here. I'm using a screwdriver. I'm going to remove this, and then per the instructions, this fitting stays, but this piece here comes out of the tubing, and same thing down here. Now these are barbed fittings, so just a continuous pull will take these straight out. Up here, this elbow is held in by plastic, so when you're pulling this, make sure you're supporting the actual elbow here so you're not yanking on your PCV valve. I'm going to go ahead and set this up on the tripod, and I'll show you what the removal of this looks like. Alright, removing this clip is actually really easy. I just can't show you with one hand, but essentially I'm going to put my screwdriver right here on this tab. There's a little piece right here. Let me see if I can get this to focus. Right here, there's the tab. I'm going to push this, and it's going to release that pull tab. So it was kind of hard to see what I was doing. I kind of blocked the footage, but I put the screwdriver underneath it here, just slightly underneath the rubber, and I walked it around just to break that seal. I already did this side here, but once that seal's broken, I just want to show you how easy these are to pull out. I mean, that's it. So this line will no longer be used, and I'll show you what's next. So now we're over here on the bench. We are on officially step one. So we're gonna install our 90s just like this using PFT tape. And we have the short hose on the left side, long hose on the right side. This will be going into the intake manifold, and this will be going into the PCV valve. There will be no use of tape on any of these push fittings. The only requirement for the tape is on the threaded valves. And if you so desire, at this time you could even add some PFT tape on this Allen head bolt on the bottom. I'm good with it. I'm not going to run any on the bottom, but I am going to be doing it on the two 90s that are threaded into the catch can itself. I'll show you what this looks like. Another thing to note, if you do use the tape, make sure you have it spun opposite, so when you tighten it, it actually pulls the tape tight. If you do use the actual liquid route, just make sure you don't have anything inside the ports here to block your restriction of your flow. So here's the final setup. Everything is connected and tight. These are still loose, so I can adjust. And everything is pushed in and seated down here as well. I'm gonna go ahead and put this cover back on with those two T30 screws I took out. And then once that's on, I'm gonna tighten up my 3 Allen heads here, and that'll keep this from spinning once we're aligned. So far the hardest part of this install was putting this cover back on with those 2 grommets in the back. What I ended up doing is, you see those Sharpie marks? I marked it and I slid my hand back here, and I was able just to guide them inside those grommets by looking at those little Sharpie marks that I have drawn. But yeah, so up next I'm gonna go ahead and put these 2 bolts in while aligning the bolt for the catch can, and this will get mounted up here. So you're starting to see the final look of the install here. Last check, make sure you got your cover on tight, you have your Allen screws tight, and you actually have your oil reservoir tight. And once all that's done, you guys are good to go. I'll try to give you a quick overview here of how this looks. But if you guys have questions with the install here, or any other generic 5th gen questions, feel free to message us on Instagram or drop a comment on this video. Again, we do have a 10% discount with CORSA. Go ahead and type in so5thgen at the checkout process on their site. And we did just add a new color to our decals on our website at so5thgen.com. It's going to be uploaded tonight. It's going to be called dark blue. So previously we had a hydro blue, and we're introducing the dark blue. But take care, guys. Hope this helps. Peace out.